Hello guys, I'm Super Ron, welcome back to the channel and we're back at autoshack and I'm very excited this week because we are going to be starting a monster show build. We've got engine conversion, we've got air ride suspension, we've got interior retrim, we've got exterior respray, we've got wheels, we've got brakes. We are going to be starting from scratch and bringing this Caddy to the next level of show car. So you might think you do recognise this from the channel with the 20 valve white Caddy that I've been doing lots of work on, but this is in fact another one and this is a fresh start. This has still got the TDI engine in, but it's come to us for a 20 valve turbo engine conversion. And the great thing about it being a Caddy, it can deliver its own engine. And under this blue sheet in the back is in fact a 1.8 turbo engine out of an Audi TT. It's come complete on a pallet, so let's have a look at what has been delivered. So this is straight out of a TT and onto a pallet. It's still got all the TT mounts on. It's got the 6-speed quattro gearbox, so we won't be able to use any of that. It's still on all the TT mounts, got all the loom, got the ECU. It does look pretty complete. Even all the plugs that we've been missing on the previous conversions are still here. Everything was unplugged nicely. So we've got lots of bits to strip off here. But looking around the car, it is a very solid shell. It's in really, really good condition. It has got some patina. It's been sitting outside for a long time now. But these are just on the surface. The actual car itself is in really, really good condition. So it's a great base to make into a show car. It is going to stay white. He's got some different wheels in mind. Because I think these are Renault wheels, like Renault 19 or Renault 5 turbo wheels, something like that. So we'll be doing the bodywork second. First of all, we're going to get on to the engine conversion. Here is the diesel engine, but it's not an original Mark 1. This is the 1.9 TDI out of like a Mark 3 Golf, the AAZ engine. But unfortunately, it didn't drive itself here, and this was the tipping point to start this conversion. The cam belt tensioner broke off. Cam belt fell off, and obviously that was the end of the engine. So it's going to be a great upgrade. We're going full show engine bay, so everything will be hidden, everything will be flushed, all the wiring looms tucked, all the pipes tucked away. Very, very excited for this one. And inside it's already got Porsche seats fitted. I think these are like 944 or 911 tombstone seats. It's quite cool. I don't know if you can pick it up. They're actually embroidered with Porsche all the way down, but he has already had the door cards retrimmed in like the GTI tartan, so he's going to get the seats done to match. So the centers of the seats will be the tartan pattern, and then the outsides will be the black leather. So I think that is going to look awesome in here. These are the electric seats, they're not connected up, so I've got to see if they work before it goes off for a trim, but that's going to look very cool in here. It's got loads of other stuff for us as well. He's got a new dash because this one's all wrinkled up. He's got new clocks for a rev counter. He's got new steering wheel. So the full interior is going to look immaculate in this. At the minute, it is absolutely slammed on the floor, but it's just sitting on some cheap coilovers. The back has had the beam flipped, but I think the weight of the engine is giving this super cool stance. But we are going air suspension on this one. And it's not quite as easy as a normal Mark 1. They're exactly the same on the front, but the rears are leaf springs, so they're not as easy to convert. You've got to change a lot of stuff. I'm really excited about this, starting from scratch, making my looms from scratch and not redoing someone else's bodge, which is all I seem to be doing lately, is just redoing past conversions. This one will be fresh, will be super duper on. Can't wait to get stuck in the wiring. Before we pull the trigger on this, this has been sitting out the back for quite a while, waiting for its way to move up the queue. And now it is in the workshop. I want to get it up in the air to check that this patina isn't any more serious. We're going to lift it up, check out underneath, check it is a solid base to start with, and then we can get stuck in. But we definitely don't have many cars that do deliver their own conversion. And even after all this time sitting out the back, the brakes are still completely free, which is handy. So let's have a look underneath and find out how this has fared being sat outside. And I've had a quick look around. It actually looks really, really tidy under here. All along the sills here, this is all the original sealer. So it's got the original sills on. I see someone's jacked it up here and folded it over. Just cracked the sealer a bit, but the floors are all really solid. It's got the leaf spring suspension, so it's not like a normal Mark 1. It's got full leaf springs like an old cart, which go from this point all the way over to that point, and then the beam sits on top. It's had an axle flip to lower it, but all this will be going when we put the air ride on. But the air ride does pick up on these points, which are prone to rotting out. But these look in great condition. Just a bit of surface rust on the corners, but that is just flaky sealer. Chassis legs all look good. Spring hangers look good. Can't really find any problems at all. Even the exhaust isn't exactly in bad condition, but that'll all obviously be going. For the conversion at the front with the Mark 3 engine, looks like they've had to DIY an engine mount to get that to fit. This is all the rod shift, that'll all be going, so this will be converted to cable shift. Does look like it's got the big TDI drive shafts, so hopefully they are the 100mm ones. It's got this nice big strut brace connecting the two wishbones together. I'm not sure whether we can use that with the 20 valve, but hopefully we can. Got some cheapo coilovers up there, but they'll all be going. It's got poly bushes on here, so they can all stay. We'll just get these re-powder coated. Everything looks in a lot better condition than cars we see on the road. It's got a bit of surface rust there from where it's been jacked up and flattened off, but it's completely solid. Again, we've got some flaky sealer, but no rust holes. This is all solid under there. I think we'll just need to give it a little wire wheel and a stone chip, and that'll be good. Well, that is a relief. We are working with a very, very tidy Caddy. I just noticed a little drip there on the sump and discovered it's finger tight. I'm not sure whether it's been drained, but I think it just stopped when the cam belt stopped, and that was it. Strange. Right. Let's see if there is any oil in there. How long this has been loose. Well, that was worrying, so I think it was on the road with that loose out. Gearbox. Clean fingers. Next up is going to be emptying the fuel tank. I'm not really sure how much is in there. What I think I might do is liven up the car, put the jump pack on just to see what actually works before I start tearing it apart, and maybe we'll get a fuel gauge up as well. The wiring on this is horrendous. I'm going to take great pride in ripping all this out. Some of it is for the engine conversion, others, who knows, but that will all be going. So let's liven this up and see what works, if anything catches on fire. And I've just found this little red button as well here, and guess what this is? Connects to this, which I thought was an alarm, but wasn't expecting that. But it does seem everything around the car does actually work. All the side repeaters, the squirters, the windscreen wipers, everything inside, the fans, all the gauges in the middle, got the voltage on that. And what we actually wanted to look at was the fuel gauge, which does look full. So I'll have to get a big container for that. And finally, we are empty. That was flowing for quite a while. Let's fill these 2 big containers up with diesel, so we won't be needing that anymore. While that was coming off, I got all the exhaust system off. That came off nicely, even came off on the proper joints. Got the gear linkage out, undid the CVs, so they're all ready to drop off the front. And they do look like the bigger TD ones, so that's good news. And also got all the fuel system off, so got the fuel lines out. They ran underneath. So all in all, we are getting undone. The diesel is empty. It had about 40 litres in there. So let's start stripping this bay. All the TD can be gone. Well, that's most bits all off. Wasn't too bad. Got the filter and everything off this side. Got the throttle cable, clutch cable and speedo cable all hanging down there. All the water pipes are off, folded over. Any bits of the loom are all folded in. That'll all go down with it. I think we're pretty much there. This all stays with the car. So we've got a few more bits at the bottom. Let's drop the downpipe off as well. A couple of bits underneath and we can drop it like it's hot. So just got to get the rear mount off underneath. So, and then the front one, I'm gonna have to take this strut brace off as well. So they're just on the bolts that hold the bottom arms on. Drive shafts are all undone, but they need pulling out. Normally we undo the bolt there, but if I'm doing this one, then maybe I can just move it out far enough to drop the drive shafts. Gear linkage is all off. We'll drop it out. Perfect. Side 2, engine mount. Check. Front mount off, and we should be just hanging on the middle 2. Right, let's drop this out. It's all going in the bin, so it doesn't need to come out with too much finesse. Just undo the bolts and lower it on the floor. Down it goes. And it's out. Just lift the car up. Just going to nip out this drive shaft because that's getting caught under the turbo. It's easy enough to get out. Bit easier out the way. Let's carry on. Out it comes. And we are all out. We can see why the cam belt went on this. The tensioner bolt has actually sheared off. So it's still just in there. So the cam belt would have fully fell off. But that's now left us with an empty bay. And as you can see, it's in fantastic condition. No rust anywhere. On the other side as well, the battery tray is going to be going. All that wiring is going to be going. But that's now left a full blank canvas for our 20 valve turbo to go in. So we've got to strip this down next because all the gearbox and everything's got to come off. Be because we need a different gearbox, which we have got one up here. So this is a cable shift, hydraulic clutch. I don't know if we can see. There, this is an O2J, which is perfect, just what we want. So we can get this all fitted together. Also got speedo drive, so the Mark 1 clocks will still work. Got all the cable shifters and everything to go with this as well. That's a Mark 2 mount on there, so we'll get rid of that. And the conversion mount will go on the top there. And we're going to see if these cups do fit our diesel shafts, which I do think they will. So next up, we're going to have a big tidy up and then start stripping this down. And also in the background, you would have seen this 1998 MX-5 gone back together. We've just done a full restoration on this. Had new arches, lots of repairs, and now it's just had a full respray. Lee has just painted this up and he was just putting it back together in the background there. But this is straight out of the gun finish. This hasn't even been polished yet. So you can see how straight and smooth this is. The pearly colour looks amazing. All of the new arches. We redid all the stone chip along the bottom to make it look exactly the same as it is out of the factory. But the paintwork looks amazing. This really has transformed this car. It was pretty scruffy when it came in. I haven't done a full video on this, just thought I'd give you a little insight as you saw it in the background. And this is the same standard we will be restoring the Caddy to as well. Just in here taking the seats out so I can check them out before they go for a retrim. Started taking all the interior trims and everything out. Noticed a lot of extra wires under here. But I just took the centre console up and found we've had a guest at some point. A little mousy. He's made his home in here. I don't think he's still at home. And this end was his toilet. So luckily we've got a new black carpet going in this, so all the carpet will be going. Looks like he had a nice little nest in there. I've just found the cam belt idler light in the car as well, and that snapped off bolt. And you can see they put it on, cross-threaded it, rounded it off anyway, still fitted it, which has eventually resulted in this snapping off, and the cam belt fell off. Not ideal. Next up, I've just taken the seats out because before he gets it retrimmed, he just wanted to make sure all the electrics worked in the bottom because they weren't connected up in the car. So I've just put the power to it, and we've got our 2 switches, and that is for tilting. So that one, this one is the rear. Perfect. So all the motors work, and I can connect them up when we put them back in the car. So these can be sent off to the retrimmers and start to get ready for that. So that'll be another tick in motion. And so let's start pulling the wiring looms out. There's loads of random snipped and extra wires everywhere. This is a 91J car, and again, like the other Caddy, it's got a CE1 fuse box in it. So we'll get that disconnected and get the looms pulled out the front. And there is the bay, all empty. Just pulled all them looms out. So now we are starting with a fully blank canvas, as you can see. There's no rot in the bay at all. It's just really, really grubby. So it's just going to take a little scuff off and a paint up. But that has given me the blank canvas to make a fresh start. So I'm going to wrap this episode up here. This is going to be a massive project, so I'll probably cut it down into a few sections and update you as we go along. But I'm really happy with progress so far. It's really nice to make a fresh start like this, where you can just rip everything out and start again. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure you give it a like and be sure to tune in next time, because we will be stripping down that 1.8 turbo, getting it Mark 1 ready and getting it in the bay for a mock-up. We can then start working out where the shafts are going, so we can do chassis notches for the air ride. Speaking of air ride, that'll all be coming soon as well, so we can start fitting all that. But like I said at the minute, this is one that I've been looking forward to. I'm going to be making full custom looms. This is heaven for me. So I'll see you next time, but until then, make sure you have fun.